Hello and welcome back to CEO Numbers Network. Today I am recording this podcast episode on April 15th, the tax deadline. And I want to share some thoughts around this year's tax season, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and where I hope to see us as small business owners and the tax industry go in the future. So a little bit of a different style of episode than I normally record, but I want to come on and just be raw and reflect with you guys. I'm going to reflect as a business owner first before I talk about how this tax season has gone for my team. As a business owner, I have always preached that we need to have a money team who remains independent. So we don't want to have our tax accountant who's also doing our bookkeeping, CFO strategy, business consulting, financial advisor. We really want 4 different people on our money team because they all have a different expertise. So we have our bookkeeping team, who is the person who's organizing all of the transactions, creating the puzzle, our tax person who is running the tax strategy and actually filing the tax return. CFO is the budget, looking to the future, and then financial advisor, who's actually looking at the whole big picture of both you, your business, and your personal, and planning for the future and your retirement. And the reason I've always said that I wanted this to be 4 different people is so that there is checks and balance. If your tax accountant is the person who's doing your bookkeeping, they're going to give you the tax strategies and they're going to do your bookkeeping in a way that only aligns with tax. And as a CFO in my prior life, I was a chief financial officer, and I've come to Kickstart to bring access to financial information to the small business owner who previously didn't have access to this type of information. I want you to be able to use your financials every single month to manage your business. And so yes, of course, we can use our financials to complete our tax return, but it's not the reason we're doing our tax return. On my money team, I have somebody on my team who does our bookkeeping, somebody who does our CFO strategy, and then we've hired out CPA tax support over the years to make sure that that remains independent. I received an email this morning sharing no information with me, really. The email said, here's your estimated tax liability, and here's how much you need to pay, and here's how to pay it. I've actually received almost 0 communication from this firm up to this point. Why am I sharing this with you, right? Like, I want to share it because it reminds me what we're doing here at KSA Tax Partners and why we're doing things the way that we're doing them. I have to say that it felt disturbing to me to receive a communication from my tax team on the tax deadline. Now, if you know anything about me, I am not a last minute person. I like to get things done quickly. I like to get things done way before the deadline, and I like to have things done and ready. And so I sent in all of my personal information probably early February, because for me, I want to get it done. The minute I think about it, I want to get it done. I want to get it off my plate. Otherwise, I will forget. It is difficult for me to see that so much time has gone by without questions being asked and a response being generated from this team. And so back right before Easter, I had asked the team, I said, hey, where are things at? They did respond on Easter weekend, which I appreciate. The very next day, I got them all the questions that they had answered. It went radio silent again. So a full another week, the day that the extension is due, I received a communication that a very large tax bill was due and no explanation as to why. And it left me thinking, yes, I can be angry and I can be disappointed, but it made me grateful for the process that we have created for our clients. And so we will continue to use tax weeks. And I know that that can be frustrating for some clients who prefer not to go on extension. But the reason we do tax weeks is because I don't want any client to ever experience what I experienced today. It's not right. It's not okay. And my team and I, we will not tolerate it for our clients and for our client experience. I started this business 11 years ago for you guys. I am here for our clients. Recently, I was talking to a client and I said, I might not do everything perfect, but damn, do I care. I really care. I care about my team. I care about our clients. I care about the communities that we're serving, the people our clients can employ because they know their numbers, that they can show up confident and empowered at tax season. Like, I care so deeply about you, our listener, our clients, and this whole business and mission that we've created here at Kickstart Accounting Group. So we will forever until further notice, continue to do tax weeks. So what does that mean? In January, we send out a email to all of our tax clients that say, hey, it's time to schedule your tax week. The tax week is then scheduled via Calendly, where that client knows exactly when their return is going to be completed. They might not be able to schedule before the tax deadline. And you guys, that's okay. Tax extensions are okay. It gives us the time and space to be able to understand what our liability is, to understand why, and to decide what to do about it in the future. What is our tax strategy in the future? And so we do the tax week. Our clients book the tax week. About 2 weeks before the tax week, our clients receive a list, a document request of all the information. And that document list is customized. It's based on your prior return, especially if you're a returning client. When you come onto your tax call, that call is to make sure that we have everything that we need. It's to talk through the details, to make sure that there was nothing that happened throughout the year that maybe we just didn't capture. And it's a way to put a name with the face. We want to be able to connect with our clients. Again, that's why we're here. We're not a transactional business. We don't want to do a whole bunch of tax transactions. We want to have long-term relationships with our clients. And that means having a relationship, taking that time during tax season to slow down, have a phone call with you, have a conversation with you. During that week, your return is finalized. And then at the end of the week, we record you a Loom video walking you through the return. At the end of the day, the tax return, it's your responsibility. So we want you to understand what you're signing off on and why. We do our best to maintain our response time through tax season to help clear up any questions that you might have. And those questions, that Loom video, the whole thing, it's all part of a value package. You're not going to get invoiced if you have an extra 3 questions for us. You're not going to get invoiced if you need to jump on a call. The feeling of not being able to have a relationship with your team because you don't know what the invoice amounts are going to be, it feels transactional, it feels tedious. I don't like the feeling to say, hey, I have this question. Can you quote me how much it's going to cost me? I don't know. For me, that just doesn't feel like the right relationship I want to have with anybody on my team. And so we will never do that. I want to be clear on something. There is such a thing called tax influencers online. I know it's surprising, but Instagram, because it hears me all day long, it serves it all up to me. I get quite a few tax influencers on the gram talking about all the ways that you can write off your personal life and pay as little money in profits as possible. Now, that's just not the strategy that we're going to have here at KSA Tax Partners. We are not the firm that's going to save you the most money on taxes because that's not our core values. Our core values is that we are going to help you understand your business. We want you to create a healthy, valuable, profitable business that's sustainable. And that does not always mean lowering the profit, putting personal expenses through your business, or making giant purchases in December just to save money on taxes. You're going to pay it anyway next year. We just don't play games with our clients' financials and your cash. We will do everything that we can to find the tax strategies to make sure that you're investing in your HSA, your 401k, your IRAs. Really, what I want to see from you as a business owner is that you're operating your business in a healthy, sustainable, profitable way. Your business financial statements should show the reality of what it costs to run your business. Paying for your car and your child's daycare and your kids, that means that goes through your personal account. And what comes through the business is truly actually business costs, so that you know if this thing that you're generating, this thing that you're putting all of your time and effort into, if it is actually profitable and it is a valuable business. I remain convicted to the idea that we don't need to put every personal expense through our business. Now, I'm not saying that you can't ever commingle. I'm going on a speaking engagement and I am going to drag my husband along with me and we're going to make a trip out of it. But it's not to make it a strategy. It's not to create a vacation out of every business expense or vice versa. I want to share with you that your tax strategy should align with your core values as a business. Where do you want to go in business? Do you want to maybe sell your business in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? Do you want to have a valuable business where you can go and get a loan, a line of credit, maybe purchase a vacation home one day? What are you doing with your business and how do you want to run it? And when you go into that tax strategy session with your tax accountant, I want you to think about your core values. Think about the business that you're trying to run. And so if you're given that strategy, like, hey, let's put all these expenses through the business in December, ask why. Like, really ask your tax strategist, why are we doing that? You're going to pay the profit, whether it be this year or next year. And so if this was a profitable year, it's probably the year that you have the cash in order to pay that tax bill. We had a client a few years ago who came to us, and her previous tax accountant had her make a large bonus to herself, a bonus to her team, spent all this money in December, and January and February are her slowest time. She was working on a build out of her second location, and it was really difficult to watch her have to take on a line of credit and a whole bunch of debt. She had spent her cash. She had spent it on a tax strategy, and it really hurt her and the growth of her business. Her team expected a bonus the following year, and she just didn't have the profits in the same way. She was opening a second location. So your tax accountant isn't always going to know what's coming up next in your business. And so make sure that you, as a business owner, like, this is your responsibility to take action and to understand your return, to ask the questions, have a conversation with them, know what's coming next for you, both personally and in your business, and make the best decision for you, even if that means showing a profit. I want to change the story around profit. Profit is a good thing. It creates value. When we talk about tax, we don't want to write off all of our profit. We want to say, yes, I have a profitable business. I am maximizing my tax strategies, and I am creating something of value that is here to stay. As I reflect today, the things that I think are continuing to work for us is our tax weeks, scheduling those tax weeks, connecting with our clients, putting a face with the name, talking to them. You are not a transaction to us. We care deeply about you. We care deeply about the community and your mission that you are building. And we want to hear about it, and we want to connect with you. So we'll continue those tax weeks. We'll continue to take the time to meet with you. We'll continue our best efforts to maintain the fastest response time we possibly can for our clients during tax season and after tax season. We'll also continue to do the tax check-ins. Those work for the clients who book them. Again, it's really great to connect with you all, and it's great to be able to have that conversation around how the business is going this year. We'd like to see that profits are skyrocketing. We want to be able to celebrate that with you and make sure that the estimated tax payments align with the profit for this year. Those are some of the things that are working. Some of the things that I think are not working that I want to acknowledge is that I do understand that it is frustrating to file a tax extension, especially if you haven't in the past. And I know that our slots, they fill up quickly. We apologize for that. But like I said, the calls, connecting with you in person, face to face, like I don't want to give that up in order just to get more people in before the tax extension. We're going to continue this process. We're going to continue to file tax extensions for our clients, and then take the time and space and energy that each and every single one of you deserve it. And we're going to continue to give you that time and space. And so those extensions will continue to be filed, and we'll continue to use that calendar so that we can connect with you live. That's it. That's the only thing not working, you guys. We've had a great tax season. The team has loved supporting each and every one of you. And I'm excited about CEO Numbers Network. And I hope you enjoyed this off-the-cuff podcast episode. If you enjoyed this, you can send us a DM on Instagram and let us know what you think. You can come on here and share some more experiences and thoughts with you all as they come up. I'm a business owner right here with you. Want to continue to have the opportunity to share those experiences with you and to show you what it's like to run a 7-figure business and to be a growing entrepreneur who doesn't get it all right, but is trying really hard as a business owner and wants to show up to continue to be of service to each and every one of you.